So, despite admitting that he smoked crack, despite admitting that he's prone to drunken stupors, and despite the denials and apology, well, the mayor, Rob Ford, says he's not stepping down, that he is staying exactly where he is. He's staying put. So, we got the perfect guy to talk about all this, Don Goldberg. He ran damage control at the White House during the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And, Don, I remember covering that very well. It was a very bizarre time to be covering the White House. Yeah. But the president survived it. He moved on. He's doing very well. Is there a difference here? I mean, you know, how would you counsel this guy compared to Bill Clinton?
Well, President Clinton had his issues, but a lot of it had to do with was he going to admit the relationship he had with women, including Lewinsky. The problem with the mayor of Toronto is you don't know what's going to happen next. And while it's great theater, as a crisis management person, it's a very difficult situation to get your arms around. You just don't know what's going to happen next.
So he's admitting to everything, right? I mean,
finally,
President
yes.
Clinton didn't admit to much, and not initially in the beginning, but certainly this guy is admitting to everything. Does that help him? Does that hurt him in his cause?
I think you could argue that it helps him. The issue is, what does he do about it now? He's got to show some compassion, some contrition, a little bit of that. But what's the path forward? He can't, or at least he hasn't shown any willingness to go into any kind of counseling or rehab. He's got his family members, his mother out there talking. None of this is good. In President Clinton's case, the issue was essentially, how are you going to handle the cover-up and the lie? This is a much trickier situation. But he has told at least we think he's told what's happened so far, so that's a step in the right direction.
Well, I'm a little alarmed by the video, the last video you saw there, because I don't know what to make of that. There's no context for that. Should people be afraid of him? Should they think he's dangerous in some way? Should they think he's violent? Should they take him at his word that he wants to hurt somebody?
I couldn't tell what was going on in that video either, but he clearly has anger management issues, and he probably also has some substance alcohol issues. And I think, you know, even though as a society we've become more tolerant about drug use, crack cocaine is a different issue. Smoking crack is not a good thing. So I think if you take those all together, yeah, this is a character you probably don't want as your mayor, quite honestly.
And at this point, how long does he survive? How long does this go? Does he need to does something else need to come out to be a smoking gun? Because you think video using crack and, you know, this kind of behavior, you know, threatening people would be enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he clearly has shown no willingness to want to step down. You know, his attitude essentially is, let the constituents, the voters, tell me whether I'm a good mayor or not. And he seems to have some support there, at least from voters, not from any of the observers. I think if anything else comes out, he's definitely going to have to get out of there. But I think that he's holding on for dear life.
All right. Rob Ford, thank you so much. Appreciate your perspective. We'll be following this story, see how it goes.